Everybody doing good? Doing good? Yeah? Good to hear it, good to hear it. All right. I got a question for you. Have you ever seen a star? Obviously you have, right? But let's think a little deeper. You know, let's think. We are but mere amoebas in comparison to our stellar counterparts. Think about that. Right. Let's play a game. I'm gonna show you a picture of many dots, and there's gonna be one star in that picture, and I want you to find it. Okay? Take a look. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, done. I lied, man. I lied. Every single dot you see, that's a star. Every single freaking one. Yeah. Tricked you. Am I right? How did that star get there? Think about that. Let's discuss birth. You know, you've been born. I've been born. Your mom's been born. Your dad. Let's think deeper. Can other things be born? Can a dog be born? What about a moon? What about a star? Oh. Right? Think about that. Let's discuss star birth, shall we? Without stars being born, there'd be no stars, right? Kind of how, like, if I wasn't born, the world would be weeping right now, right? But I was born. And my purpose on this earth is to give you every detail, every fact, everything you want to know pertaining to star birth and evolution, right? So let's say we dive right in. I want you to imagine gigantic clouds of dust and gas just swirling around in the cosmos, right? Now over a long time, that gas, that dust, gets a little bit tighter due to gravity, and a little bit tighter, and a little bit tighter, and a little bit tighter, and all of a sudden, kaboom! Star formation. Star formation, right? You've got something called a protostar. You know, that's like a baby. That's a baby star. That's the baby stage of a star. You know, this happens over millions and millions of years of swirling and dust and everything. And all of a sudden, now you've got a star, and it's doing nuclear fusion. What's nuclear fusion? Yes, that's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking. Nuclear fusion is when hydrogen is changed into helium in the core of the star, releasing energy in the process. And nuclear fusion is the reason why the sun shines down on us today. It's why the stars shine, right? Nuclear fusion is incredibly important. So now that we've got a star, it's performing nuclear fusion. It gets older, right? You know, we all get older. You know, the stars can enter something called the main sequence. You can think of main sequence stars like our sun, for example. You know, it's calm, it's bright, it's steady. We know it, we love it, right? Now, stars can chill in this main sequence for billions of years. It's a long time. You don't know how long it is, but it's a long time. Now, this lifespan can obviously fluctuate a little bit depending on the mass of the star. I mean, you know, the bigger ones burn faster. You know, they go through their hydrogen a little faster. The smaller ones take their time a little bit, right? And that's okay. Everybody does things at their own pace, right? What I mean by all this is that this stage, the main sequence, is kind of like stellar adulthood, if you will. You know, things are going, they're going fine. Fusion is stability. Balance between gravity and energy keeps the star happy and balanced. Things are going good. So we had our main sequence star. Now, you know, billions of years later, these stars run out of hydrogen in their core. That's when things get funky. For stars like our sun, they start puffing up, ballooning, getting bigger into what we call red giants. You know, These red giants are gigantic. They're a little bit cooler as they run out of hydrogen and start burning helium instead. Now for stars that are even bigger than our sun, they still swell up and get big and they turn into what we call red supergiants. Now these red supergiants are similar to red giants, but they're swollen, they're even more big and gassy, and they're just burning through heavier and heavier elements. Now for the time you've all been waiting for. Star death. What happens when a star dies? Well, a lot depends on the original mass of the star. These smaller stars, these small to medium-sized stars, after puffing up and going big daddy style into red supergiants and red giants, they can shed their outer oniony layers into something called planetary nebula. And what's left behind there is a husk of its past self. Sort of an analogy for life, if you will, but these husks, what's left behind after this, we call these white dwarfs. And here's a crazy fact about these super dense white dwarfs. They don't actually have nuclear fusion going on anymore. They're just burning up what's left. And this can last for so long, billions and billions of years, if they play their cards right. And what if a star is really massive, like 8 times the size of our sun, or bigger, right? These big, ginormous stars, they collapse so fast that they go supernova. It's crazy, right? And the supernovas are one of the most violent explosions in our universe. Now after these supernovas, what's left can either be a neutron star, which are like crazy dense balls of mostly neutrons, or if it was super duper freaking massive, it could be a black hole, which is where gravity is so freaking super duper freaking strong that not even freaking light can escape. Think about that. That's crazy, right? Think about that. And guys, here's the coolest thing. When stars die, they don't just vanish. The material they give off re-enters back into space, drifts away, forms what can eventually be new stars, eventually be new planets, eventually be life, if we're lucky. Think about us. We're literally made of star stuff. You're a star. Don't ever forget it. Stars form from these big clouds and they become big and crazy and they shine bright and eventually they go back to being clouds, which form new stars and new things and maybe even some amoebas, right guys? And a little throwback. Were you paying attention? Were you paying attention? Yeah? So the next time you look up into that starry night sky and you say, wow, that's a bright star, I want you to remember, it's not just a little point of light. It's a big, ginormous, flaming ball that took billions and billions of years to form the way that you see it. It's a cosmic journey of birth, death, and rebirth. It's just like life, a whole lot of birth. Thank you for watching, friends. And as always, stay classy.